This is Phương Ha from Bao Group Asia. So on the topic of riots and protests, you must have been aware that because of the fish kill in the central region of Vietnam, there have been street protests,
Yes.
which are uncommon in Vietnam. So did the U.S. Embassy has any conversation with the Vietnamese government about this? And so what does the Vietnamese government have to say? And also about just your opinion about the risk for U.S. business?
About the what?
The risks.
Oh, risks.
For U.S. business operating in Vietnam about this situation.
Thanks. Well, on the fish kill protests, what we did is pretty much right away, I offered technical assistance from the United States, if the government of Vietnam wanted it, for figuring out what had happened and what the source, the reason that so many fish had died along the Central Coast. And that, the sort of immediate offer of assistance was not accepted. But there has been some collaboration between American scientists and Vietnamese scientists on trying to sort out the causes of the fish kill. It just wasn't as a result of our official offer. When it came to the protests, it's our view that there's nothing. Peaceful protests are a good thing, but we are not engaged in this issue in any way. We're not. This is an internal issue to Vietnam. We can encourage the Vietnamese government to deal with protests in a certain way, but it's not our call in the end. It's the decision. It'll be decisions made by the Vietnamese government and the Vietnamese people about how to deal with protests when they occur. The law and association and in future, the law and assembly will be the laws that best determine how those challenges are dealt with in the future. And we do have views on how those laws are written and formed, and we'll make our views known to the Vietnamese government on how we think it would be best for Vietnam to rewrite those laws. When it comes to risk, I mean, there's nowhere in the world where you can invest and there will be zero risk. But when I think of, I've traveled around the country a fair amount, thanks to Alex and USABC. I've had a chance to travel around the United States a lot and talk to business leaders about their interests in Southeast Asia. And when you look at a country that's got a fast-growing economy, literate population, wages are lower than in some of the neighboring countries. It will be a member of TPP. That becomes a pretty attractive option for a lot of companies. So when we went around to those cities, I got a lot of questions. And I think it was really because Vietnam had made the courageous decision to join TPP, and some of its neighbors had not made that courageous decision. And it was a hard decision to make. The negotiations were tough. There were some aspects of the agreement that were hard for the Vietnamese to take during the negotiations and will be hard to implement. But I think the Vietnam's leaders made a really courageous decision when they decided to use TPP to propel their economy forward, to encourage reform, encourage the continuation of reform. So again, I'm an optimist, but again, I think the trends are very good, and the opportunities for American business